Hi, I'm David, and today we're going to take a look at room assignments in Clubman. Here we're logged in as an admin, so let's say we're the booking officer or a lodge manager. We'll take a look at the rooming calendar. So this shows us how many free beds we've got in the lodge each night in a calendar view. Let's click in the first week. And that'll take us through to the trip list or the room allocation builder for that week. So we can see here we've got 3 parties booked. We've got the Jones family, we've got the Nurk family, and we've got the Frensons, and they're all unassigned at the moment, so they haven't been assigned to a room. They've just booked a bed in the lodge. You can see that 2 of them have got some booking notes, so the Jones family will be coming in late on the first night, and the Nurk family would like an upstairs room if they could. So what we can do here is just start dragging people into rooms. We can assign them individually if we like. So we can take Sandra, pop her in room 1. She's been assigned for a Friday-Saturday stay for the weekend. We can do the same for Jeremy. We can also drag around entire groups if we like. So let's take the Jones family. We'll pop them in the family room downstairs. Great. Now we'll take the Nurk family, and they've requested to be upstairs, and yeah, looks like we can accommodate that. So we'll pop them upstairs into room 4. We can see here that we've assigned 4 people into a room that we've said has a capacity of 2. So it's gone orange just to let us know that we might be making a mistake. Now, the system won't stop you from doing this. The philosophy is that the human is always smarter than the computer. And if you've got a good reason for doing it and you know what you want to do, you go right ahead. But it will try and warn you to say, hey, are you sure that's what you intended? So let's reassign Alice into room 5. And Fred along with her. Great, that looks happy. So now we can print this list out, and we can pin that up in the corkboard at the front of the lodge so that everybody knows where they need to go when they arrive. The other thing we can do is the guest info list. Now this can be whatever you like, but it's a list of all the guests that are staying during that week, the dates that they're staying, and any particular fields you'd like out of the membership database. So what I quite like using this one for is the who's parked me in the car park list. So we can see we've got a list of all the guests that are staying with the registration of their car and their phone number. So hang on, I'm being parked in by somebody with the plate ABC123. Right, okay, that's Tim. I'll give him a call and see what's going on. Now this is a fairly simple lodge allocation, but things can get more complicated when we've got a really full, busy lodge and we're trying to make everything work out. So sometimes we might need to say, okay, well, for whatever reason, Charlotte, you're going to need to be in room 2 for the first few nights, and then you can shuffle over into room 3 for the rest of your stay. So we can go over here to the manual allocator. We can pop ourselves in advanced mode up here. What we can then do is start splitting room assignments. So you can see Charlotte now has 2 separate assignments, one from the 6th to the 9th, one from the 9th to the 13th. Now we could assign her into room 2 from here. Save that. And there she is. We can also drag this around independently. So we pop Charlotte into room 1. We'll pop it back into room 2. The other thing that we could do is we could assign Charlotte actually completely outside of a room. So if need be, we could say that Charlotte's going to be under the stairs on an inflatable mattress. There we go, and we can see that she's been assigned there in the rooming table. Now again, this is the human being in charge. You know, if there's something that you need to do and there's something that you know you need to do in order to make the lodge work, the system's designed to let you get on with your job and not have to be fighting a computer. So we can now delete that split if we've determined we no longer need it, and Charlotte's back to normal. The other thing we can do here is send an email to all of these guests. That'll come pre-populated with the information that we've configured both at the lodge settings level and at the club settings level. And that'll have a link in it to the trip list and the rooming allocation table for their particular week. You can toggle that off if you prefer guests not to know where they're assigned until they arrive. That's a setting in your organisation settings page, but by default it's on, so they know, what sort of linen they need to pack for what sort of bed configuration they've got. And as soon as you're ready, you can send that out and the email will go out to all of the guests. You can also download all of this information in CSV format, so you can then open all this stuff up in Excel and do whatever it is you need to do with it from there. And you can get a list of the email addresses for all of the members that are travelling during this period, for if you need to send them some sort of communication outside of the system. Now, I've just deleted all of the allocations in the background, so everybody's now unassigned again. And what I'm going to show you is the automatic allocation feature. So this uses an algorithm to make a best guess at how the guests that are staying in your lodge should be laid out in the rooms. So if we click that, we can see that it's populated a whole bunch of assignments that are highlighted in pink. This means that they're an assignment the computer's suggesting, and they're not saved in until you actually decide, okay, that's what we want. Or you can discard all of the suggestions the computer's made. You've also, though, got the opportunity to refine this, and the computer will then re-guess based on the constraints that you've given it. So we could say that, well, actually, I want Charlotte to be upstairs, and the computer will re-guess around that. So here now we've got Freddie and Tim downstairs, we've got the Nurk family downstairs as well, Andrea and Bob are up here. Actually, Sandra wants to be downstairs in the family room. Jeremy should be alongside her. We're going to shuffle the Nurk family over here. Yep, that looks good. We're happy with the rest of the allocations. Save that in. And again, this comes back to the table where we can drag and reassign things to our heart's content. So the idea of the computer allocation is not to replace the expertise of a lodge manager or a booking officer, but to take care of the easy bits. Free up your time for doing the tricky assignments, doing the real work, the real human work of lodge management, and letting the computer take care of any easy bits that are left over for you. Let's also take a look at the lodge summary page over here. So the intention of this is that you can get a really quick bird's eye overview of how the lodge looks in a particular week, and you can also print this out to stick up in the kitchen if your lodge has one, or in the lodge manager's room, so you can keep track of what's happening night by night. So first up, we've got a breakdown of the guests that are staying in the lodge by age. This just lets you get an idea of, okay, is the place going to be overrun by kids this week? Or, what are the sort of rough demographics of our lodge? We can see here any notes that particular members have put in. And then we've got a night-by-night breakdown of all of the guests. Now, this is really useful for catered lodges. This is a great kind of kitchen list for what meals or covers you're going to need to be producing night by night. And if your lodge has dietary requirements switched on, then you can see any particular dietary requirements of your guests. Also called out here is anybody that happens to be having a birthday on that day. We can see here Freddie's turning 9 years old. So, that'd be really special if we could just acknowledge that. Maybe we'll bake him a cake or something. If we go further down, we can see a couple of days later, Charlotte's having a birthday as well. But she's a grown-up, so we haven't called out her precise age like we did with Freddie. We've given her a slightly more genteel age range. See here that on the 11th, we've got Sandra coming in, and just a heads up, she's got a peanut allergy. All right, let's make sure we have a chat to her about that and be aware of it in the kitchen. Now, the room allocation features of Clubman have been given a lot of time and thought to try and make things really easy for what's a really difficult job of assigning rooms in a lodge, but also while giving you all of the power to do whatever it is that you need to do that the system may not have thought of ahead of time. So we try and make the easy bits easy and make the hard bits possible.